grain?
No, we order several different types of grain to match whatever recipe we need it for. There are times when our grain shipment is low that we will go to the kitchen and roast some base malt, some two-row malt to get more of like a Munich malt flavor, more of a toasty flavor. But that's like desperate measures when we're almost out of ingredients. But we try not to do that. It's kind of a hassle when you're dealing with hundreds of pounds, and you got to do a cookie sheet at a time.
That would take a while.
It takes a while.
Do you use any crystal malts or specialty grains in anything you produce other than the Oktoberfest?
Yeah, well, we have several different levels of caramel malt for several different colors. We have Munich malt for the Oktoberfest, Vienna for the amber lager. Once a year we do a Scotch and a Scottish ale, which have a smoked peat malt in them, which gives it's very potent stuff. It gives you only need a little bit, and it goes a long way. It gives a strong smoky flavor. But for the most part, most of our beers are about 450 pounds, and it's mostly base malt, and then we'll add some caramel, some carapils, just to give it the color. Most of the flavoring is coming from our hops. And just the level, how much grain we use and how full bodied the beer is going to be. So if you go out and get a sampler, you can get a wheat ale and an imperial stout, and they're completely opposite from each other. 300 pounds to 700 pounds of grain makes a big difference. Where most of them are more like 450 IPA, Oktoberfest, for medium bodied beers, about 450 pounds. Which is, when you're mashing it in, most places, a lot of breweries this size, and definitely if you get bigger, they're going to run their grain up on a conveyor belt and then have a big auger in there mixing it in. And we do it bag by bag, by hand. We have a rake, so 700 pounds, that's 14 50-pound bags. After you mill it, you bring it in here and mash it in. It takes like 45 minutes just to stir it all in. The last few bags, you dump it in, and the water's so thick already, it just sits on top. So it's like, baking, mixing everything, make sure you don't have any clumps or anything. And it's a hell of a workout. I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to do it anymore. The guys work very hard on it. Make sure we're good. But, any other questions? Good. All right. Well, everybody go get a beer.